Hi, my name is Mwangi Wajumbi, a professional trainer on strategy, performance management, change management, and also leadership. I also write widely on those areas. I've been published in more than 100 articles in the Kenyan media. Most notable publication was in a magazine called Small and Medium Enterprise Today, where I ran a strategy column on a monthly basis between 2013 and 2018. And I retired from that publication when I became very busy with matters of education system in Kenya. But as I continued writing that magazine, that is when I wrote the book titled Career Dynamics in the 21st Century. After having realized over many years as I trained in organizations that more than 80% of people who are employed, they are dispassionate about what they do or the work they do or their careers. And along the way, I also realized that more than 50% of our graduates are unemployable. That is when I saw the need to write the book. But first, before I wrote the book, I consulted the government of Kenya through the Ministry of Education, the headquarters in Jogoo House, and interviewed a number of authorities in the Ministry of Education, and they didn't seem to have any solution on the problems that were of concern to me. I also visited a number of universities because of my column, trying to understand whether they knew about the problems and what they were doing about them. But interestingly, universities told me that their work is to produce graduates. Where they get employed, how and when belongs to another sector. And that is when I realized, like, universities do not care. The Ministry of Education do not know. And that now led me to writing the book, Career Dynamics in the 21st Century, sub-theme, Unleashing the Human Performance Potential. And it came out in March 2015. And on 23rd May 2015, an article was written in the Daily Nation about the same book, or analyzing the writings in the book. And that attracted quite a number of leaders and serious authorities. And soon, the KICD, Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, got attracted to the book. And by 2016, it was approved for circulation in schools in this country, secondary schools particularly. And I didn't know that it is the same book that was to be used for architecture of the new curriculum, or the competency-based curriculum, CBC. So it seems like it did not take long before the book was noticed by the education system as a solution for the transformation of the education system in this country. Now, as the book continued circulating and being read by professionals, teachers, and various other interested parties, I kept on being asked, where is the next series? Where is the next series? And later on, when I sat and thought about it, I realized that leaders now had understood how to become high flyers in a way that they unleash their full performance potential. And they wanted to know how that high flying is sustainable. And that led me to writing the book titled Living Beyond Survival, No More Tiptoeing in Life. No More Tiptoeing in Life is actually the sub-theme of the book. And ever since writing the book or having the book published in 2018, I've never been asked where is the next series. It seems that people the readers got contented with the content of the two books. And the second one, Living Beyond Survival, was given to two forwards, one by a vice chancellor of a university, the other one by the CEO of Kenya Institute of Management. Serious authorities indeed, and they made the book respected in the country, in the different educational institutions, and it did not require to be approved by Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development to circulate in schools. So in schools now, I circulate two books. What makes me talk to you today? The second book, Living Beyond Survival, No More Tiptoeing in Life as a sub-theme, has made me feel like explaining some things that people may not understand or have not understood because I have never written about them in one of the books. But why that sub-theme, No More Tiptoeing in Life? I have quite some experience in life. There's a time that I was never passionate about what I do. I actually lost passion, and when I lost that passion, I went back to school and got re-empowered. And when I got re-empowered, that is when I started walking tall. I stopped tiptoeing in life. Though I have written a whole chapter on that issue, I have not given my own personal experiences, which may be of interest to many readers, because once I got re-empowered at the turn of the century, I got a calling to venture into training and consultancy in management and related areas. And soon after, I got accredited to what is now known as National Industrial Training Authority as a workplace trainer. I think that happened about 2005 or 2006. Along the way, the same organization, together with other professionals, other trainers, we were called upon to have a discussion on how the training can be converted into a professional or recognized and made into a professional organization, which was actually supported by the National Industrial Training Authority. And in 2008, Professional Trainers Association of Kenya was born. I was actually founder member number 8. And that my company, together with the people that we formed the organization with, we sat down and looked at how training could be handled professionally and formed rules, formed content, formed many things that made it into a professional body. And we started training other trainers. Some were university lecturers, some were, so that we can follow the same policies, the same principles as we continue empowering people in Kenya, especially in the workplace. And along the way, we acquired new knowledge, new abilities, and we got now involved in serious engagements, and I got quite a number of serious engagements on international assignments, especially one was through a body called AMLEF, whereby I was one of the trainers in their organization before it became a university. It was getting trainings. It has training programs for people coming from all over Africa, and I interacted with many of them from different countries, and maybe given some time, I'll share some experiences on that. But the most notable experience is one whereby I was invited to conduct a performance and leadership management training session outside the country, all the way in DRC Congo, Kinshasa. Actually, I went to Kinshasa in 2013 and had a training session of 4 days for the assignment was by USAID, United States International Agency for Development. And the first 2 days, I was training the junior staff who are basically, or middle level staff, who are basically from DRC. And I went on the second session for 2 days, which ran on a Wednesday and Thursday, was now for senior staff of that organization. And on that the first session of 2 days went on very smoothly. There was no challenge at all. But the second day, when we started, I had some interesting experience through a lady who I can actually call her Dr. Ajara. As the introduction of the session happened, she wanted to know in which university I teach and what is my area of, I'm a professor of what. But you see, she was already a doctor. So she wanted to know the credentials of the person who was now training them for 2 days. And as a workplace trainer and a professional trainer, I didn't have to go into those kind of details because mine is not academic oriented. My professionalism is not academic oriented. So the lady seems to be uncomfortable because as we went on with the first session of the morning, even before tea break, she started interrupting my sessions. And on 2 occasions, I felt very disoriented. And now I had to take action. As a professional trainer, I knew how to deal with difficult trainees or difficult participants because I had learned that over time. And I had also witnessed such happenings in professional bodies, people fighting almost physically because of disagreements in training sessions. But I couldn't allow that to happen in my session, being the professional that I am. So I actually asked Dr. Ajara to wait until tea break or during lunch to clarify issues that she might find difficult to understand instead of having to interrupt the training session. And if not comfortable that way, it was fair for her to allow the other training participants to continue enjoying because they did not have any problems. Dr. Angela never expected that kind of reaction. And even before tea break, she walked away from the training session. But it continued very well throughout the day. And there were no further interactions, and it was very smooth. The following day, Dr. Angela came again, and now this time she was very calm. She never asked any questions. She never interrupted in any way, and the training went on very smoothly throughout. And at the end of the day, the second session of the training coordinator was very full of praise of what I had done and what they had experienced. And actually, he told me, had I not done what I had done, which made Dr. Angela to leave the training on the third day, okay, the training was actually to be stopped within 5 or so minutes since the interaction started. But I went on to ask what was wrong with Dr. Angela. The coordinator later told me that Dr. Angela did not want that kind of training to happen in Kinshasa. If anything, she wanted to go for a training session in London, whereby she was to be on her own, the others would not participate. But the head of the mission decided to organize a training that everybody in the mission will benefit. The other thing is that Dr. Angela, probably with the other 2 Americans who are there in the training, would not imagine that an ordinary African would actually be able to handle the training the way it was done for all the 4 days that it happened in Kinshasa. Why am I relating this issue? I'm relating this issue because many are times that we encounter problems in our lives because we are not comfortable. We are not passionate about what we do. And when we are not passionate about what we do, or when we are not following our purposes, it becomes very difficult to walk tall. But once you walk tall, once you are properly aligned, once you are confident about what you do, actually, you can never tiptoe in life. You'll be walking tall. And, well, there's a lot I can share about that. I'll look for other other discussions on those kind of experiences, so that I can open the thinking of many people who tend not to be confident about what they do. But for now, I encourage you to read my books, call me for seminars or training programs for organizations, for schools and other bodies, and so that we can continue empowering Kenyans and showing them how to walk tall instead of tiptoeing in life when they were not meant to. For more, contact me on 0772 516210. Also, follow my YouTube channel by the name Wangi Wajumbe. I'm also on Facebook. I'm also on Twitter. But if you subscribe to my channel, Mwangi Wajumbe, you get to know more as it happens, almost instantly as it happens, because you'll be alerted easily once you are a subscriber. Thank you and have a very good day.